I'm a mother of two. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, and was wanting to be more balanced. It's so much more work, or even the same amount of work to sell a $2,000 engagement and a $15,000-$20,000 engagement.
Hello, Sarah. It is wonderful to connect with you. Congratulations on graduating from Swagger School. Tell the people a little bit about who you are and how you serve corporate clients.
Thank you, Anniedi. I'm very excited, and I'm the founder of Trailblazing in Color, and our focus is working with organizations primarily in the social impact sector, nonprofit, academic, and public sectors to create systems change for their organization. So that relates to culture transformation and also change management initiatives around, hey, we used to do things this way and now we want to do things this way. And we want to make sure that it stays aligned to equity-centered practices and considers gender equity and racial equity and gender parity. How do we make sure that everyone doing the work is equitably compensated and treated for that work? And so that's the work that we do with our clients.
You were no stranger to consulting, Sarah, having previously subcontracted under larger brands. Tell us a little bit about what was going on in your world as it related to finding more corporate clients.
I was in a position where I had done several sales of corporate engagements and also subcontracted or worked for organizations that did the same. And so I learned some things about how to structure a proposal and how to get to yes in positioning the pain point and the solution. But where I really started to feel stuck as a business owner and a solopreneur was in ensuring that when we get to the finish line of the initial engagement, that that's not it. There's a real plan and a real intention behind what happens next. And it's not just something we're talking about in the last weeks of the engagement, but it's something that I'm planting in the messaging from the very first day. Like, okay, this is phase one, or this is where we're at now, and this is what we can do in the confines of this scope of work. What else can we do? So that honor your handiwork component was really a big gap for me, and wanting to create engagements or just ongoing clients that weren't all of these onesie twosies, which is what I was doing in the first couple of years, that really became sustainable client work over the long term, because that's really where sustainable change comes from. And so it really all connected the dots there for me.
I love that concept of sustainable, right? Like, how do we make that success sustainable? I'm always curious, what was motivating you the most personally to land more corporate clients, bigger contracts?
Mm, having more time, having more financial stability, definitely. And I'm a mother of two. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, and was wanting to be more balanced generally and charging more and having a consistent stream of business development opportunities happening is what I knew I needed to do to get there, and just didn't necessarily have the tools to do it on my own. Or I could have figured it out, but it would have taken a lot longer.
I'm curious what attracted you specifically to Swagger School to embark upon your B2B sales journey.
It was definitely the niche of it. Like, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to build my corporate client roster. I want it to be really repeatable and have a process and a cycle. And I hadn't seen any other offerings like that that spoke so specifically to what I was trying to do, what I was trying to build, and had the chops to back it up. Say, like, we've done this before, we've done this for many years, and this is why we know exactly what's needed. We've got this expertise to come in and make change in the way you do your processes. It's, again, back to that fast. I don't want to have to learn all of this from scratch. I want to learn from the experts. And so that's how I do a lot of my other business learnings and connection to wisdom. And this was just an opportunity to really get super specific about the way I wanted to grow as an organization.
Let's go there. So you want to talk a little bit about the growth that you experienced as you made these shifts. So what were some of the biggest mindset shifts that you had to make to position your business to set the stage for success and landing more corporate clients?
The biggest mindset shift for me was really this idea of working smarter, not harder, of just looking at the numbers. If you're doing 15, working with 15 different clients, and it's just these little engagements, like you have to work so much harder to sustain that, and being able to shift my thinking to why am I going after these little things, or even not even going after, but saying yes to when they come to me, when I really need to be much more discerning and selective and say, this, no, this is who I want to work with, this is who I can support, and this is what it takes to work with me. So more of that confidence and in my own competence, say like, no, I am worthy of charging this much, of saying, no, this is, it's this way, or uh, I can recommend someone else for you. Things like that, where I was just before saying yes to everything that came into my inbox. That was not, again, back to sustainability. It's so much more work, or even the same amount of work to sell a $2,000 engagement and a $20,000 engagement. And then you've got $20,000 to look ahead to or more. So that was a big one for me.
They say boundaries are a boss's best friend. Okay. So you went from
Mm,
idea of like getting to yes, saying yes to everything, to now being discerning and choosing, selectively choosing which projects and opportunities to say no to, so that you could make room for that expansiveness and that growth for more spaciousness in your calendar. So I would love to hear. So you started making these shifts, right? I would love to hear what was the impact in your business of really positioning yourself to go after these bigger contracts. What was the impact in your business after working with us at Swagger School?
it has been a significant impact in, I think it started even with signing up for the program, investing in my business in this way. It just, wheels were turning, things were shifting, and kind of like that manifestation stuff started coming my way that was aligned. And I had now the tools and the resources to be able to structure those proposals, and through the proposal audits, like just the wisdom to say, no, you can make this a little bit better, and it'll even be more likely that they'll say yes. So I would, and we had a, Anniedi and I had a conversation about this to see where the numbers really accelerated, and figured out that at least 3x what I was doing last year by halfway through the year. And that's not going to slow down. So it's a lot more momentum now. The clients that I have keep coming back for more work because of these foundations that I've put in place. So I've got a lot less stress about where the next thing is going to come from, because I've built such a great foundation for these existing clients, and then they're just going to tell their friends. So I feel really optimistic about the future and where we're going to go from here, just knowing that, wow, look at the momentum so far.
I would love to put that into context. So you're saying you 3x'd your previous year's revenue in the first half of this year. Okay. Let's put that into context. But you also did it with a third of the number of clients, a third of the number of clients. So when we talk about hitting your revenue goals with a handful of clients, this is what we're talking about right here. 3x'ing the
Mm.
revenue from the previous year in just half the year with a third the number of clients. It doesn't get any better than that, Sarah. I would love to know how you're feeling sitting at the negotiation table now that you've done the internal work, now that you've had a chance to get market validation on those newer packages with those clients. How are you feeling sitting at the negotiation table walking into your next deal?
I feel really good about negotiating. Sometimes too good. Like I feel like the yes comes too easily, and I now it's time to think about charging more and raising my rates because I've got several of these under my belt at this point. And so one, it's time to raise my rates. And two, I feel really confident about the value that we bring to organizations that if it's a no, uh, that's fine, but I'm able to better articulate what that no is going to cost, not in pricing, but in costs of, well, now you're really delaying solving this pain point that's been irking you for some time. So I feel a different level of confidence. And now it's time to raise my rates. That's what I'll say. It's like now it's time going to the negotiation table. I want them to pause for a second and then say yes, rather than just jumping right into yes.
You heard it here first, folks. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Okay. So those rates are going up. Um, I'm curious, was there anything that would have kept you from signing up? There's a lot of folks, right, who are thinking about pivoting in their business, expanding, changing business models. I'm curious if you could think back to before you joined Swagger School. Is there anything that would have held you back from, raising your hand and saying yes to this opportunity?
And anytime we're investing in something when we're already feeling like, "Ugh, I don't know what the answer is," it's it's a leap. It's definitely a leap of faith, but when you have the stories and the results to back it up, I think that was the biggest thing for me is I want to know not only that I'm going to get the tools and be able to apply this directly to my business, but I want to know how others have done it as well. And I think that's what set Swagger School apart for me is the testimonials, is the real, tangible, numbers-based changes that business owners have seen and the way that they're getting more of their time back. I understand the pause of the investment, but when I really looked at, well, what am I getting and what's going to look differently in my whole life because of it? That's where like, okay, that's back to the cost. That's the cost of not saying yes right now is I'm going to be doing this same approach for the next year. And do I even have the energy for that? No, something's got to change right now. So I'm going to make this decision right now for myself and for the future.
Something had to shift, and you had the courage to bet on yourself and make those significant strides to really just transform your business in such a short period of time. I'm curious if you have some words of wisdom that you would share with someone who's sitting in your shoes where you are thinking about, do I have what it takes to go after these bigger contracts? What word of encouragement would you share with them today? Somebody who's maybe on the fence, not sure whether to join Swagger School.
You know what you're doing. You are the expert in what you bring. Happen to some experts who are going to help you amplify your message and amplify your revenue ultimately. And so it's just this idea of self-belief and then going after what you absolutely deserve and are absolutely worth.
Absolutely. So swagger gets results. It's you, the essence of who you are, your lived experiences, your professional expertise, all combined to help you win at work, wealth, and well-being. I could not be more proud of you, Sarah, for how you've been able to go out there in these boardrooms and rock your swagger. Tell the people where they can keep up with you and learn more about the wonderful work you're doing at Trailblazing in Color.
Trailblazingincolor.com, and we're on LinkedIn at Trailblazing in Color and Instagram, same. And would love to connect, would love to stay connected, stay following our work. And I can't wait to see what others do as a result of this program because it has been game changing.
Thank you so much for your time today, Sarah. I'm wishing you continued success, and I can't wait to see what comes down the road for you as you continue rocking your swagger.
Thank you.